I'm Alexa Liacco.
Not having an ID is one of the biggest barriers to casting a vote. In the last midterm election cycle, 21 million eligible American voters didn't vote because they didn't have an ID. But not having that identification card is about so much more than casting a vote. It's a gateway to participating in democracy.
It's dangerous being out here like this.
It's not the life he pictured.
All my clothing was robbed twice since I've been out.
But Mark Perrone knows how he got here.
And a bunch of bad decisions, bad times. I pretty much didn't want to do much more living. You know, I figured, you know what, I've seen the Royal Ascot in London, and I've seen prison, and I've seen the Super Bowl, and I've seen Florida. You know, whatever. Whatever, sorry, Florida. No, I'm not.
He's been on the streets in Los Angeles for years, and it's a chapter he's now trying to leave behind.
It's very humbling. If I'm going to keep living, it's got me in a way better frame of mind, way better frame of character, you know?
But finding housing and a job requires one thing he doesn't have, an ID.
The ID issue leaves an adult who's walking around society helpless.
It's kept him from getting help he needed.
I still haven't got any stimuluses. They're just floating around out there somewhere.
And it's kept him from voting. But that's all about to change.
Now's the time, and there's no excuses because these folks are right here helping me, you know, put my life back together.
He's talking about Kat Calvin.
So,
yeah.
Your birth certificate shipped last night.
Kat started nonprofit Spread the Vote to get eligible voters an ID. They've helped thousands of people across the United States get one.
After the 2016 election, I was really looking at how we got here and what was happening in our democracy. But one of the things that we very, very quickly realized is that if you don't have an ID to vote, you don't have an ID for jobs or for housing or for, life.
It's more expensive to get an ID than you'd think.
His birth certificate cost $93. That was not a thing that he was ever going to be able to afford on his own. The people who have no income in this country, or who are low income in this country, they're the ones the government affects the most. And they're the ones who should be voting.
As midterm elections approach, getting IDs to more possible voters means a chance for change.
There's no way to pretend that we're going to have some miraculous election in midterms and everything's going to be okay. We've taken our country to the bottom and now we have to build back up. The hope, though, is that no one's given up.
And she won't give up.
That would be perfect, actually. Awesome. Thank you.
Kat comes out here day after day, giving more people a path to participate.
By income, by issues, by the fact that we're all just 2 disasters away from being homeless ourselves. Everything we care about is what they care about. So we all have to vote together, and we have to make sure they can vote.
And for Mark, having an ID means more than a vote.
Through this organization, I have a say-so in it. I don't have to keep waiting,
It's opening other doors for him, too. He just learned he's on a list to get housing and could have a bed to sleep in within a matter of days.
I just can't believe it. I'm still stuck on that.
What started with an ID is now a possible home and a definite fresh start.
It's amazing to me. I don't really know how to put it into words, You see, I broke right into tears right away because I live on the ground,
All of these things, they're all interconnected. The more that we help the folks who are the most vulnerable, the more we're helping our whole country.
For The Race,
it's going to be really good.
I'm Alexa Liacco.